All right, looks like we are live. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Sorry about all the scheduling issues, but here we are. Here we are, and we are ready to rock and roll. So hopefully you guys are ready to dive into Abby and Libby's case. Try to make some sense of it all. I think one thing we can all agree on is that Rick Allen is smack dab in the middle of it all. So whether you're part of the replay crew and you're watching this later on, let me know what you think about that in the comments. And if you're rocking with us right now, go ahead and participate in the poll. Let me know what you think. Miss Dog Lover, what's up? Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Before we get started, we'll give everybody an opportunity to show up here. How's it going, Miss Dog Lover? How you been? How was your weekend? I appreciate that. Thank you. Melinda, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm doing better, thanks. Good. It's good to hear. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing good. Things are great with me. So there was recently a bust, um, a huge like CSAM operation. It was global. So I think I'm going to start with a video. It's like 3 minutes long. We'll start with that. But after watching that video, it just reminded me of this image I have of what's really going on with the Delphi case and how it involves the clients and maybe even people higher up or just as bad as them. You know, I can't get over the ski mask incident. I can't get over the fact that the ski mask incident happened so close to the Las Vegas vacation. I can't get over the fact that Keegan Klein was conducting business on burner phones while in Vegas and looking up the Delphi murders. So after watching this video of this operation that was taken down, it really reminded me of what I really think the motivation behind Delphi, what was behind Delphi. Think about it. It was in the middle of the day. Why would they attack? Why would anybody attack Abby and Libby? Remember, Rick was saying he was laying in wait. So he was probably looking at the girls just like what you see in this thumbnail right here. There's absolutely no reason for an opportunistic killer to look at two targets and say, okay, that's my vulnerable target right there, these two young girls. Witnesses say he's moving with. What's up, Karen? Sweets Crime Zoo. What's going on, She Warrior? Clarissa, how you doing? Happy Sunday, everybody. Wisconsin Cat Mom. What up, what up? Jari is in the building. Okay, looks like we're at the 5-minute mark. Let's go ahead and let me play you the video that I'm referring to. Okay, now remember, the Anthony Shots account was created July of 2016. Kagan Klein was already a seasoned online predator at that point. At the very moment that the Anthony Shots account was created, the Kleins purchased tickets for Las Vegas. Coincidence? I don't think so. Right? They're planning something. Now, just a short while before they're due in Vegas, Abby and Libby are murdered, and we hear about a ski mask incident, right? The ski mask incident that started it all. Law enforcement told Kagan Klein that that's how they started everything, right? That's why they were kicking down Kagan Klein's door to begin with, is because of this ski mask incident. Apparently, it brought their attention to the Anthony Shots profile. So if they're purchasing tickets to Las Vegas, they're creating the Anthony Shots account, and then targeting Abby and Libby with the Anthony Shots account, they end up being murdered. A few days later, ski mask incident happens. The Kleins then are now in Las Vegas. Police are wondering where they at, right? We're looking for Anthony Shots. We're looking for Kagan Klein, the creator. Where are they? They're in Las Vegas. So they say, okay, looks like they'll be back on the 25th. Well, while Kagan Klein is in Las Vegas, him and his dad are booking prostitutes. Kagan Klein is meeting a gentleman off of Craigslist on a burner phone. And he cannot stop looking up the Delphi murders. And he's obsessed with it. So what was he doing in Las Vegas? Why was he looking up Abby and Libby and the killer's voice? Why was he catfishing them to begin with? So I want you to keep that all in mind when we watch this video right here. Because a lot of folks, when I give them this theory about Kagan Klein and Richard Allen being connected, they seem to think that it's far-fetched, especially when you try to tie it in with the Las Vegas trip. But it really isn't. Not for these folks. So take a look at this.
Porn operation with ties to Tampa Bay. Today we learned it involves the arrest of several Floridians, including a couple of Bay Area residents. Fox 13's Aaron Placencia is live for us in Tampa tonight.
What's
and
up,
Aaron,
Ruth?
we know that investigators have been looking into this child porn ring for the past year. So what can you tell us about their findings and the ties to Tampa Bay?
Well, Allie, investigators say they were able to uncover over 1 million photos and videos of child pornography.
1 million.
That was reportedly being sold online. And we know that some of the
All right, did you guys hear that? 1 million.
buyers were right here in the Tampa Bay area. But the investigation actually eventually led agents all the way to the country of Turkey to a man they believe is a suspected mastermind behind this whole thing.
Okay, so this guy is like a Mr. Big. Early on in the case, when we brought up the snuff film theory, you know, I was the one that kind of coined the term Mr. Big, right? Who's this Mr. Big? This guy that remains anonymous behind the scenes. Somebody who seems to be hiding Kagan Klein, hiding Dave McCain, hiding Richard Allen, and even helping Ron Logan by delaying an official search warrant. So who was this Mr. Big? This could be the guy who was motivating Richard Allen and the Kleins to go out and perpetrate this crime. So pay very close attention to this.
To me, this is one of those career cases.
From Turkey to Tampa Bay, FDLE agents and the Florida Attorney General explained Monday how their investigation spanned countries and continents to unravel a child pornography distribution
Worldwide.
operation.
I can't tell you in words how gross this content is, but it shows the dangers, the evil that's out there. It is truly evil.
In July 2024,
Jimmy.
agents were working undercover in an online chat room. Eventually, they were directed to a website,
which is on the internet. It's not the dark web, it's the straight internet.
And that's where they...
Okay, this is what I try to drive home for you guys. There are so many places to hide on the internet that you don't need the dark web, right? It kind of is the dark web because it's in the dark, but it's still just the regular internet. But it's private servers, it's links that you click on that are basically almost impossible to hack. And apparently you can get a million CSAM images for $100. So imagine what you can get for a double homicide or a murder on film or something along those lines. Or maybe just trying to get somebody on film and then it turns into a murder.
were able to purchase nearly 7 terabytes of child porn for just $100.
6.7 terabytes is 1.2 million videos and pictures of some of the most egregious, disgusting content we've ever seen.
Okay, now how do you get that content? You get it through sextortion. You get it through family members preying on other family members. We know that Kagan Klein used the name Emily Ann. He has a niece who was 3 years old at the time, named Emily Ann. Makes you wonder if she was victimized. You have people who will adopt children specifically to abuse them on film, even as infants. So we're talking this pure evil. So why would they stop or hesitate to kill Abby and Libby? So it's not such a far-fetched theory, is it? Right? For Kagan Klein to come up with the Anthony Shots account at the same time he's trying to come up with the murder scheme. Right? I'm making money with this. He must have had a contact in Las Vegas. Remember the name Jan Kendall. If all this turns out to be true, you're going to hear that name quite a bit. And trust me, people are still investigating all of this nonstop. They're going to find out the connection. If there's one there, we're going to find it.
Determined to expose the head of this operation, investigators followed a tangled web of computer IP addresses,
What's up, Amy?
burner phones, false identities, and deliberate attempts to hide the money trail, which ultimately led them to a man named
Shoni?
Mehmet Berk
What's up, Shoni?
Boyzuyuk, who lives in Turkey.
He really, really believed that he could outsmart us, but at the end of the day, he didn't. He tried to profit on this horrific abuse of children, but we caught him.
The nearly year-long investigation also led the FDLE to other suspects in New Jersey, Oregon, Canada, and Ireland. Some are accused of
worldwide.
helping the ringleader facilitate the transactions of this graphic content by accepting money from 7 buyers right here in Florida. Residents from Clearwater and Lakeland are among those arrested and facing charges.
These horrific pictures and videos capture real, identifiable children whose
Shania,
names are
thank
in
you.
the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Shania.
Leader in Turkey is not in custody yet, but the FDLE tells me that
Okay, guys. So there you have it. The theory is not far-fetched. And the idea that there's a Mr. Big is much more realistic than you might think. Something motivated Rick that day. Remember? He's looking at his phone. He's moving with purpose. But he doesn't even have his phone. So what device is he on? Welcome in, everybody. Make sure you guys hit the like button. And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Replay crew, sorry we missed you. Catch us in the comment section. Sweet Crime Zoo. Sweets Crime Zoo. Didn't the discovery of KK shenanigans open the biggest CSAM ring in Indiana state history? That's what they told him during his interview. Is it true? I don't know. Doug Carter talked about tentacles. Shit, I haven't seen any. I know there was a shit ton of arrests. But I mean, I don't want to hear about tentacles when you failed to pick up on Rick as a viable suspect. Even when you had a predator in custody with plenty of disgusting evidence, you allowed him to leave. And then even when he came back, you gave him an entire year of freedom. Why'd you do that? And then we'll never really know if Ron Logan was connected to this murder because they didn't really serve an official search warrant. He was on probation, so they were able to go in without asking him, right? This is a search, probation search. Okay, well, what about the outbuildings? It's most likely Reese is full of shit, but what if he's telling the truth? According to him, Ron Logan was involved in wrapping up one of the victims in a tarp and keeping them out, one in the restroom and then one, I think, in a barn or one of the outbuildings, which wouldn't be far from the crime scene and kind of would explain the wounds, right? Libby appears almost like she was attacked twice. Reese says that's what Ron Logan said. That matches with the evidence. Ron Logan redid his entire bathroom, pipes and all. So if they cleaned up in there, any evidence is now gone, right? So I think it would be interesting to find out when Ron Logan refurbished that bathroom, and if it was in between the murders and I think it was March 11th when they finally served a search warrant. And even when they served the search warrant, it was the FBI that had to write it, right? If you guys aren't going to do it, I'll do it. They must have been giving Nicole Robertson all kinds of fucking excuses. Like, oh, we're not going to put our name beyond. She's like, what? We have plenty of probable cause here. Like, let's get moving on this. And the reason I think that that's the way it played out was because in the affidavit, she says that the girls were dropped off at 1 p.m. So it's like she's flying blind. She's like, I have enough to go search this fucking guy. I don't know why these guys are hesitating. So she had to write this search warrant. And she didn't even have all the correct information. It's like they were keeping it from her. Shania, didn't Vito say that there were two different people writing on some of the accounts because of different writing styles? Yeah, phonetics. So if you subscribe to the Reese theory and some other rumors that have been coming out about Kagan Klein and them having a business on Backpage and selling burner phones, Richard Allen being a customer and Ron Logan also being a customer. Pedophile, but you're a family man like Rick. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to go seek the services of Kagan Klein. Kagan Klein will give you the burner phone. He'll give you, he'll probably set it up to where you don't have to do anything. He's like, okay, you're Anthony Schatz. You can go into the Kick app. You can go into the Meet Me app. You can go into Facebook. You can go into Instagram. And then you also have access to Snapchat. And then if you go into this folder here, this will give you access to the Dropbox, right? Each burner phone is just automatically logged in. So for Rick, if he wants to go view 1 million CSAM photos, right, he pulls up to CVS, logs into the McDonald's Wi-Fi, or drives out to his mom's and logs into her Wi-Fi, right? As long as I'm not using my Wi-Fi and this phone has no attachment to me, I'm good to go. Could even be the reason that he liked traveling. Remember, who's going to drive all the way to fucking South Chicago to work a shitty Walmart job? You know what I mean? You're paying more than what you make in gas. It don't make sense. Well, killers love to travel. So the motivation is Rick. What's motivating him? He's laying in wait. He's stalking on this phone, obviously through Snapchat. Well, who do we know that's on Snapchat? Anthony Shots is on Snapchat. Who created Anthony Shots? That's Kagan Klein. These guys are connected. Okay, let's take a look at a video. This is by Randy Gravitt. He gave me permission to play this.
Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm back at the bridge.
I'm going to turn the audio off because it's a little kind of skippy. But this is Randy. He's walking from the north side of the High Bridge to the crime scene, and then from the crime scene up to the cemetery. I think right around 12 o'clock, sometime a little bit after, when the Kleins and Rick had gotten together, either on the Logan property or at the cemetery. I think when the first group of girls went to the bridge, I think it was Bree Wilbur and the Voorhees sisters. I think that Rick and maybe even another gentleman went to the High Bridge. I think they walked from either the cemetery or Ron Logan's property all the way over there, and were kind of stalking Abby and Libby's friends and Kelsey's friends from right here where Randy's going to go. So check this out. And then I think they left, and Rick really wanted to take the girls right here where Randy was, but they crossed the bridge, I think. Maybe even thinking that they were on their own territory, right? We'll be safe over here. This guy's not going to cross this bridge. We'll be safe here, and then we can go down to the private drive, and then we can actually run to your house. But Rick, everything that we know about him, he just jumped right on that fucking bridge and just started walking, pretty quickly towards them. And then at that point, they were like, well, there's nothing we can do now. I wasn't expecting this guy to have more experience on the bridge than me. So there you have it. That's Randy right there. And that is the north side of the bridge. So if you take a left, there's a path that pretty much follows Deer Creek all the way back to the crime scene, and then up to the cemetery, up to Ron Logan's property. Or you can continue on, and eventually you'll end up at Wilson Bridge. Thank you, Jari. Well, think about this, Shania. If there were other murders that Rick was involved in, he could have done exactly what he did here. He didn't leave any DNA. Whoever killed Abby and Libby, right? Even if you don't believe Rick had anything to do with it, either it was a girl or it was a man who didn't leave any of his DNA. So if there's other crimes, maybe there's no DNA there either. How would you compare them? Okay, see this trail? All right, let me pull something up for you guys. So this is the evidence that the girls are being stalked through Snapchat. Right? We have a Snapchat photo going up at about 12:43. So I think at this moment, I think Rick and somebody else might have been watching Bree and these other girls around this time. From right here. Okay, do you see Randy turned around and now you can see the high bridge through here. If the girls were on, that's why I created this thumbnail the way that I did, to kind of give you an idea of what was actually happening. And a lot of people kind of mocked. Folks were trying to say that they think they can see the bridge guy in the background of this photo. But now knowing that there's a trail right there, right? Who's to say that there isn't somebody in that photograph? Because if this is an individual here, they would be standing right on that trail. They'd be standing right here by this tree. Just like that. Surprised falling leaf says all wrong. Please enlighten us. Okay, so there's an even better view here. Remember, Rick confessed that he was waiting, he was laying in wait. So Rick says, hey, I'm laying in wait. The man stepped on the bridge like 3 minutes after this photo was taken. So he had to be close. Why can't that be him back here somewhere? Standing right here. Two and a half minutes after this photo's taken, he just simply walks over and goes right towards him. I think Rick may have seen the Freedom Bridge girls on the way back from his mother's house. No, I think what Rick did, this is what Rick did. So he was already kind of snooping around exactly where we see Randy, near the north side. And then he walked back to the cemetery with the Kleins where his vehicle was. And he said, that's not them. That's not Abby and Libby, or that's not Libby. And while he was at the cemetery, he sees this photograph come up onto Snapchat. That's why this is called the Snapchat murders, because that's exactly what it is. This looks exactly like Abby. They say, oh, there she is. 126. A minute later, pay close attention, right? One minute later, you have Rick trying to get in front of them. He has extensive knowledge of the trails. He's like, I know where they are. I know where they are. I'll go park at the CPS building and I'll get them right there. I'll pull the gun out. And for whatever reason, he's highly motivated to do this. He's like, I'm not letting him get away. But unfortunately, when he gets there, this is what he finds. Somebody that looks similar to Abby, these other girls, and the reason he knows so much about them, their descriptions, their height, the fact that two of them were sisters, and the fact that they were babysitting, is because he's been stalking them on Snapchat. He's been reading their conversations, probably even, maybe even communicating with some of them through the Anthony Shots account. So if they're stalking the girls through Snapchat, this is what they would have seen. This would have been posted, right? They would have been thinking, well, it's not the person who's posting it. The person who's posting this took a photo of Abby, right? It's not a selfie. It's a photograph. It almost looks like a photograph of somebody else. So at 1:26, this hits Snapchat. And 1 minute later, now you can tell where this is. Look, you can tell where this is on the trails. Look at all the light and the hill in the background, and then the bench. Rick knows exactly where this is. So that's what he told most likely the Kleins, right? I know where that is. I'll cut them off and I'll bring them to you. But I got to hurry. That's why we have him on the Hoosier Harvest Store video, coming from the direction of the cemetery, mind you, and blocking off what he thinks is Abby. The witnesses said that this person was very angry, upset, looked like he was having a bad day. We waved at him. He didn't wave back, kind of scowled at us. Okay, well, he's moving with purpose. Why is he moving with purpose? Where the hell are they? Right? For some reason, Rick is really panicked about Abby and Libby, it seems. He's highly motivated. They've been targeted for whatever reason. And if there is a burner phone factor to all of this, who's to say that they don't have a secret phone that was taken from the crime scene? Right? Kagan Klein in Las Vegas using multiple burner phones. The one that he was using didn't have a password, as if it was meant for multiple people to use it. There is a picture of Rick standing in that exact area of that trail that is to the left of the beginning of the high bridge. Yeah, it was a trial exhibit. Surprised falling leaves. Before you get on the bridge, there is a path that goes right to Ron Logan in the cemetery, plus nothing on Rick's phone. Yeah, this is what we're watching right now. Surprised. We're watching Randy Gravitt. He's actually walking that path. Here, let me go back. And if look, he turned around and you can see the high bridge. So if you're standing right here, lurking, laying in wait, like Rick said to Monica Walla, he could see Abby and Libby out there. So if he's like, I wonder if that's them, all he has to do is check Snapchat. Right? He's like, yep, that's her. Because he's most likely standing back here somewhere. Right here where Randy is. After he verifies, after the second photo comes through, the first one's just of the bridge. He's like, I'm not going to get fooled again. The second one is actually of Abby. He's like, okay, it's verified that the person that I'm looking at in the distance is my target. So the exact amount of time, the 3 minutes that it would take to get from right here to the bridge and make it to them by 2:13, you would have to be somewhere around this area or this distance away. Lilith, what's up? Rick's bridge guy, and it's no coincidence that he was in Peru that day. Justice for Abby and Libby. Absolutely not. We know that Kagan Klein was logging into the Anthony Schatz account on 2 unidentified phones, right? More burner phones. Rick wasn't on his phone. That's one thing. When people support Rick, they never ask or will address where his phone was, why his phone wasn't pinging anywhere on the trails when he was there. How do you explain that? He didn't leave it. He said he was on it. He said he was using the apps. That's how your phone pings. When you're connecting to apps and doing things on your phone, that's what triggers a ping. And you can see the cemetery trees from there. It's like a 4-minute walk. Very close. Now imagine walking through here in the middle of the night, expecting to find two girls covered in sticks, very similar to what you're seeing right here. Now, the reason that Rick covered them in sticks is because that's what the terrain looks like, right? When you look around, what do you see? You see a bunch of sticks that are on the ground, kind of leaning and crossed with each other. Here is the location that was on those photos that were uploaded from Instagram. Surprised falling leaves. What happened to the shake story at the start when that shake was taken down by that Friday Eve? Even DC talked about it. Oh, the shack, you mean? Big time. You can't get out of the SSI parking lot and be in Delphi. Not sure what you mean. Fishy, what up? Why didn't prosecutors answer that question? Because they did a shitty job. They're not there for the truth. They know the truth. They know that the Kleins are involved. But they also know the name of the game. The name of the game is it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So if they can't prove it, they can't use it in any type of their strategy. I want to know the phone details. Exactly. From what I understand, Rick's phone, they don't have a ping for Rick's phone anywhere near the crime scene until like after 5. And then his phone begins pinging at his home, near his home. That's what I understand it to be. Yeah, you definitely can't rely on the prosecution. They're trying to get a conviction with like half the truth. What's up, Dark Side? Richard probably drank the beer at KK's house that morning, I'd imagine. Or at the cemetery. I think when Kagan says, I was at the cemetery with my dad and one of my dad's friends, I don't think he was parked in the car. That's how the half truth works, right? I'm going to tell you my version of the story that makes me look not so guilty. But I think what they did was they parked at the cemetery and they walked down to the crime scene. I think that's where they were. Carroll County did to Jesse, same players in this case. Yeah, I agree. But that doesn't have anything to do with Rick's guilt or innocence. Two things can be true at the same time. Inept and corrupt law enforcement, and then the obvious evidence that points at Rick, right? You can't ignore that. Where can I find that information about his phone pings? I know Jennifer Auger said he called his benefits manager sometime that day. Do you have any thoughts as to why? Yeah, I think that's what I was talking about, Shania. It was that phone call. I think Baldwin might talk about it briefly too. It makes you wonder. You commit a murder and you think you're going to go to jail for a long time. You start checking on your benefits. Or taking a leave, some type of medical leave. I don't think the state answered the question of what happened. Their story is told in the courtroom doesn't really answer it, in my opinion. All they were able to prove in the courtroom was that Rick had something to do with this murder. And that's why they never even entertained the idea of the death penalty. Because they know others were involved. We know that they believe that the Kleins are involved in this. They just weren't able to prove it. So look, there's like sticks everywhere. Now, why would Rick place the sticks on the girls the way that he did? To match the terrain. Surprise falling leaves? No, but it shows Carroll County corruption. Yeah, I agree with that. There's probably not a county in this country that isn't corrupt, unfortunately. Power corrupts. Absolutely. Okay, so now imagine walking through here at about 7 p.m. And you're not looking for any dead bodies. You're just looking for lost kids, right? You're just walking around. You're kind of yelling, hey, hey, where are you? Where are you? Is anybody down here? And you're kind of flashing your flashlight around. But you don't see them because they're covered with sticks. Oh my God, I can't believe somebody please explain to me how they didn't find those girls. Oh, I'm so confused at what the hell these sticks mean. I just wish I knew how they didn't find them that night. I just can't figure it out. And also these sticks. What are these runes? What are these sticks all over the girls? Well, you're answering your own question. The reason they didn't find them was because they were covered with sticks. Why would Rick Allen cover them with sticks? So that they wouldn't find them. Pretty simple. Yeah, I agree about the death penalty. This was an obvious death penalty case. It is costly to go after the death penalty, though. It is. It puts a lot of pressure on the jury. Pressure that leans more towards a not guilty. I mean, we all know that Jerry Holman believes that the Kleins are involved. He believes it. That area they were found in was gone over real good, but then the next day they were. What do you mean was gone over real good? What do you specifically mean by was gone over real good? Does that mean that they walked right through the crime scene? Did they walk by the crime scene? What's real good to you? Dark side, yeah, it's just hard for me to believe KK was supposed to meet the girls that day, not show up, and they happen to run into Richard and them, not know each other. Yeah, and I mean, there's absolutely no reason for Richard Allen to be coming from the direction of the cemetery to park at the CPS building. There's absolutely no reason for that. Why was the FBI kicked off the case? It's a good question. And why did Rosie's brother lose the Marathon gas station footage? A lot of good questions. Important questions. I just have a problem with saying that Jerry believes that the Kleins were involved in that, not the story that they told in court. You know what I mean? and TK just gets to be free. Well, it's not about what you believe, it's about what you can prove. So they were happy to listen to Kagan Klein's confession. They were happy to spend $1 million to go search the Wabash River because they thought they were going to find evidence that would support what he was saying. Imagine if Kagan Klein's confession was heard during the trial. It would have been heard if they actually found a phone and knife that he promised would be in the river when it wasn't, or in the creek. So therefore, it's just the word of a known liar. It's useless. There's no physical evidence to back up what this lying piece of shit is saying, right? At this point, he's just a jailhouse snitch. But the truth is, Kagan Klein did officially confess. He said him and his father were waiting at the cemetery, which makes perfect sense if you're looking at Randy's video here. It's a 4-minute walk from the north end of the bridge to the cemetery. Lots of people looking in that area. So you don't think it's possible that the fact that they were covered in sticks made it hard to see them? Remember, they're not looking for people laying on the ground covered in sticks. That's not what they're looking for. Jari says if Rick talked to his benefits manager, could that have something to do with the stocks he was supposedly watching? Maybe to do with his 401k? Not sure. No, he said that he kind of explained what he did on the stock market. I don't think it had anything to do with his 401k. But he could possibly have profit sharing. All right, so that's pretty much the end of that video. Catch up on the chat. What's up, Frank? All right, you guys, I'm going to grab some water. I'll be right back. Give me a minute. I think Officer Datsman? No, but Abby was not fully covered. She would be seen. Well, it's a matter of opinion. I disagree. I mean, Rick was in the military. It makes sense that the girls were covered in sticks. He basically put camouflage all over them. If you go buy a camouflaged hunting jacket right now, that's all it's going to be is a bunch of fake sticks all over the jacket. Yes, Indiana's full of small town corruption. All them counties have a good old boys club. Absolutely. They got a club and you ain't in it. We ain't in it. And I'm fine with that. I'm just not a square guy, you know what I mean? The first officer on the scene had to be told the girls were right behind him because he couldn't even see them. He kept looking and then saw something white, probably Libby's left arm. I think KK testimony, them leaving to Vegas, the phone evidence from their IP address, contacting the victims would certainly be enough. Generally unlikable as well. Oh, you're talking about like supporting. Yeah, I think you might be right. Fishy, if he's confessing and it also matches up with Anthony Shots communicating with the girls all the way up until the time that they were murdered, which we now know is a fact. That's a good point. I didn't even really think about that. Curious to your thoughts on why Richard Allen's DK and others were involved. Thanks. Doesn't really make sense, right? Why would Rick Allen snitch on Kagan Klein or the Kleins? He would have to be willing to confess in general, right? Right? I'm ready to confess and I'm going to tell you everything. But if he's not ready to confess, why would he say anything about the Kleins? Because he could say, oh, it was the Kleins that did it. They're going to be the very next question is, well, how do you know that? He's going to have to say, because I was there. I don't think they actually looked. Welcome in, Robin. I don't think they actually looked at the actual crime scene that night. And the area is apparently in a dip, so not seen from the creek. Exactly. And what they did was there's a path that goes through there. So we all just watched Randy walk this path. It's a path that goes it goes right by the crime scene, right? If you stay on this path, the crime scene would be to your right by about 20 feet. That's what Rick, if you look at the sticks, they're all on that side of the girls' bodies. So if you're walking on this path or looking from the other side of the creek, or maybe even from the bridge, that's the side of the body that the girls are covered with sticks. There's no sticks on the other side of their body. Just everything that is kind of obstructing your view from the path, from the creek. If you were to go down the hill from the south side and look over there towards the crime scene, that's the side of the body of the girls' bodies that the sticks are on. So it's almost completely obvious to me that it's there to conceal. Now, as for the blood on the tree, to me, it looks like a handprint. But then again, maybe it is meant to be something. I just don't think so. KK is a big liar who wanted attention. So, how do you feel about Reese Davis? Let's see how consistent you are. I agree with Biggie. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Look into Elvis, Brad Holder, and a few others. I've never heard of them. Talking about Elvis Fields. Hubba hubba, baby. It's all good. Yes, on the path.
property record and receipt. So this, it's gonna read kind of funny, but you'll see. So we seal everything. So sealed paper bag containing 1 pair of dirty Thorgood boots, size 7.5 mins. And then on down. So we took the clothing they.
Fishy says, why the sticks on the puddle of blood? I think that it's not sticks on a puddle of blood. I think it's a puddle of blood on sticks. That's what I think. And also, I think Rick, if there's a puddle of blood, he may have been trying to cover that up as well, right? So if he's covering the girls with sticks and there's a huge puddle of blood, I'm going to cover that with sticks as well.
You had mentioned that you possibly could have been wearing the day you're on the bridge. Okay. And then we also took some knives. Okay. We took your car.
Yeah, either do I, Sweets, honestly. That's my honest opinion. I just don't think it is anything.
SIG 40, right? Okay. Right there. I used to be a Beretta guy. I was in the Marine Corps.
Absolutely, Robin.
And then when I first got on the state
police,
police,
Biggie, can't you see?
As well. And then we went to Glocks for a little bit.
Words just hypnotize me.
SIGs.
I was trying to think of what we
I
even
just
had.
love your
I think the
flashy
Berettas were
ways.
probably coming out before I got out.
This is why they're broken. You're so paid.
Beretta?
No, they were
Springfield.
I have no idea, honestly. They were the government issued 45s.
Yeah, we had to. There were 40 Berettas.
You're gonna trigger somebody.
I think when I came on in 2001,
you're gonna trigger somebody.
Went to Glocks. Not a huge fan of Glocks, but SIGs. Mm-hmm. If I could build an indoor range and afford the ammo, I'd shoot that thing every day.
Yeah.
You shoot yours.
I've not had a lot of experience.
Yep, I agree, Darkside.
Target.
I could be wrong.
It's probably been.
I'm just giving you my
I
opinion.
don't even remember.
But I agree.
I haven't shot them in a long time. I know that.
Do they have like an indoor range in Delphi?
No, not that I know of. Honestly, I don't even know where. I haven't looked. There used to be one in Kokomo. That's the only thing I know.
Yeah, and you live in town, so you can't go out your back door and shoot it.
No, I probably could.
Let's go to Lilith. The thing is, KK actually was offered money and big TV stations wanting to talk to him, and he declined all but a few. He actually wanted the river search to not be public. It got leaked. Oh yeah, by the murder sheet, I think. And also think, if Kagan Klein is motivated to create CSAM or possibly murder on film, and he has a customer that's interested in that, or they have somebody that has a customer base who is seeking that for, a large amount of money. A large amount of money might even be, I don't know, 20 grand, right? That might be what they need. Well, yeah, I'll do it for 20 grand. Or somebody that convinces them, right? Like Shillmiller, how he was able to convince people in Alaska that he was a rich guy, and they killed their own friend, and they did it on film. They filmed her, and they were also on the phone with this sick son of a bitch who was in Indiana, who they thought was some rich old guy. They literally were live on the phone, filming it and talking to him, and he was giving them instructions. Like, okay, now kill her, shoot her, do this, do that. And it was a friend of theirs. And it's eerily similar to what happened in Delphi. Yeah, because if there's a Mr. Big, remember the video I showed you guys at the beginning of the stream? If there's somebody like that who Rick and the Kleins are trying to give this product to, that's a very dangerous individual. And if that's a big piece of this puzzle, how do you confess, right? Let's say the motivation for killing Abby and Libby was to create this product, right? Also the thrill of it for these guys, right? It's going to be the thrill. It's going to be money. We get to keep this product and then we get to sell it, right? We get our own copy as well. So we get to enjoy it, relive it, and sell it. So if he's motivated to do that, you have to think about who's creating that motivation. Eventually, you're going to have to tell the whole story. Why did you kill Abby and Libby? Well, it wasn't opportunistic. We know that you worked with other people. You have to tell us the whole story. Okay, well, I was working with the Kleins. Okay, why? Well, we were using these burner phones. Okay, well, what was this all about? Well, we had to commit the murder, before a deadline. What deadline? Well, they had to go to Vegas. Vegas for what? So that they can sell the burner phone that we recorded the murders on, and also to hand over the trophies. Well, eventually that's going to lead to the question, well, who is this person? Who's this Mr. Big who kind of set everything in motion, promising money, working with people like Kagan Klein, and it's not far fetched. I just showed you guys the huge bust that they had. It was worldwide. Why can't these idiots be involved in something very similar? Why can't that be what's motivating these guys? We know that Kagan Klein has a history of it. I know that they're connected. I just can't prove it yet. But when I do, the first place I'm coming is right here, and I'm gonna put it on this screen for you.
Wouldn't be a good idea, but
I live out in the country, so
Mhm.
I know my closest neighbor's like 2 miles away, so I shoot mine out there. I got like a ditch. I don't have an indoor range, but I have like a ditch I can shoot and stuff like that. So
I agree.
like I said, these are the items that we took. These are the items that we're testing. Some tests take longer than others, as you know. So the lab wants me to ask a few questions just about to help us with the testing, and you'll understand when I ask you.
Okay.
So, for example, they took a lot of swabs. They're taking swabs off of everything.
Okay.
So what they want to know is, have you ever loaned anything out that we've taken? And again, I just told you what we took. I realized that, but mostly some of the major items that, have you ever loaned them out for a significant time? Because if, for example, my buddy's fuel pump went out in his truck, he said, "Hey, can I borrow your old truck?" And I said, "Yeah."
Oh, we got an Odinist in our midst. Sweet says, I'm a practicing Norse pagan, and I've never seen the stick arrangement similar to any runes that I've studied. The blood on the trees was not even close.
So it's going to be 2 weeks.
Let's go to a couple more. Surprise says, you need to start from the very beginning and take a deep look, stuff people don't know. That's a good idea. I like where your mind is at. Do you use bind runes? Yeah, that's a good question. What do you know about bind runes and like taking the runes and the numbers that they represent and combining them, kind of like Brad Holder did? And if you did something like that, like a 213-17 or 237, would that look anything like what we're seeing at the crime scene? Yeah, that one's too easy, though. You know what I mean? That's something you're going to find in nature. You're going to find it, 3 sticks that are crossing. And the sticks that were placed over Abby, they don't cross perfectly in the middle. It's more like somebody stacked them there. What's up, Vix? What is up? Hopefully you got my email.
6 months. That would be a significant time frame. That my buddy's DNA would be in that truck.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've loaned out for besides your family members? We don't care about your wife's
Not
DNA.
that I can think of.
You never loaned a truck out, or your sorry, it's a Ford Focus. Is that what it is?
I mean, if I do, I certainly don't remember. Most of
The driver
most
of a
of my
vehicle.
family has vehicles, so extra vehicles.
Yeah.
So.
The same thing like my son. He sometimes will come over and leave his coat, and I'll wear it for a couple months or something like that.
Okay.
Or my son-in-law, he'll spend money on guns. He's a gun freak.
Let's go to Lilith here. I 100% believe Richard Allen was a paid participant just as Kagan was. The payments made to KK are verified by law enforcement. It's in his transcripts. Daddy-O gave KK a lot of money.
Rick, he likes to buy guns, and then he'll be like, "Hey, can I borrow $500?" And then he'll give me one of his guns as collateral, and then when he gets the money back, anything like that
Nope.
you know of? Okay. So, I'll let the lab know that. That's one of the big things. And then, like I said, some of the tests are already back. I do want to talk to you about one of the tests that we got the results back.
He's like,
Oh, the other thing is, any of these knives or the gun, did you have that the day that you recall having that with you on the day of the 13th when you were out there on the bridge?
No.
You don't remember if you did or you didn't?
I didn't. I just went out for a short walk that day.
Okay. Okay.
That's not what he
Well,
asked.
we'll get to the meat and potatoes of this, Rick. I appreciate you being cooperative with me. I want to talk about the results of your handgun. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I agree with that. Sweets.
handguns,
It looks like a handprint to me.
You may know more about them than I do. I don't know a lot, but they're very specific as far as the characteristics of the gun. So the firing pin is different from your firing pin. The extraction device is different from my extraction device. And they're basically what the lab has told me is that they're like fingerprints. They're specific to that gun and that gun only. Okay.
Okay.
So we took your gun, your 40 cal SIG, and we sent it down there to the lab to have it match with an item that we located on February the 14th when we found the girls.
Okay.
And that item was a 40 caliber Winchester round. We found that at the
Smith
scene.
and Wesson Winchester.
The extraction marks on that round match your gun.
Perfect.
So
This is okay.
Just hear me out. I'm just trying.
I am.
So this is the round. Okay. Those are the extract.
Okay, so this is the number one piece of information tying Richard Allen to the crime scene. Everything else is just syrup on the pancake. But that's it. That's the flapjack right there. So if you're somebody who thinks Rick Allen might be a patsy or being railroaded, just ask yourself, why did his defense team not just have their own tests done? Why not just bring in your own professional, not a metallurgist, but somebody their own to show how they don't match. Look, we ran our own tests and they just don't match. Why not just do that, right? The number one piece of evidence against Rick Allen is this tests, the tests that were done on the ballistics and the tool mark evidence, right? The tool marks. They said it matched in 3 different locations, not just one. In 3 different locations, they were able to match it up, which is like a 100% confirmation. So if that's such bullshit, think about how simple this would be, right? I'm going to go get my own expert. We're going to conduct our own testing, and then we're going to do our own comparisons, our own interpretations, and we're going to show you how they don't match. Think about how simple that would be to disprove this evidence against Rick. Because you can call it what you want. You can call it junk science. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But this technology is still putting people in prison. And it's not the technology. It's not your dad's technology, right? This is modern. This is up to date. The technology that's being used to put Rick in prison is the same technology that's being used against what was once junk science. So I just want you to think about that. Think about how easy it would be. You know what? You guys did your test. We're going to do our own, and we're going to show you how it doesn't match. Pretty simple, right? The defense isn't going to do that because they know it matches. So all they can do is attack the credibility of the science, right? There's no way they're running their own test. There ain't no way that they're going to show those results to a jury because they know damn well through their experience that that shit is solid.
Works. That's the best picture of them. There's actually 3 of them. That's the same round that we found. Okay. And like I said, the methodology that they use is scientific, and they were telling me, and this is the report. You can read it if you wish.
I don't need to read it.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to help you. You know, let me tell you something.
Okay.
You know, the prosecutor and the other investigators.
Okay, right here, I feel like Rick was kind of checking his body language. Crosses his arms and he's like, "Oh, don't do that."
Okay.
You know, that's negative body language.
And like I said, the methodology that they use is scientific, and they were telling me, and this is the report. You can read it if you wish.
I don't need to read it.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to help you.
Yeah. And it kind of goes with what you're talking about here. This is what they used during the trial to kind of explain it to the jury. Okay. So this over here would be the F tree. So I believe this is where the initial attack happened against Libby. Right here. She's struck. Large puddle of blood forms here. She turns around. But she's dizzy. She's losing a lot of blood. She's dizzy. She puts her hand on the tree. While she's leaning on the tree, she's kind of touching her neck like, did that just fucking happen? Did that really just happen? Getting dizzy. Hand on the tree. Arterial spray along with smudging from the hand is now left on the tree. She begins walking and stumbling in this direction here. So she falls right here where this puddle of blood is. Later, she will be dragged from where she fell behind a large tree. Now, why would the killer drag her when he could just leave her there? He's dragging her because he's hiding her behind the tree. Now, I don't know if this is the witchcraft or not, but it does kind of look like the Blair Witch stuff, right? So if you were trying to stage a crime scene, you might think about the Blair Witch Project. You know, oh yeah, I'll leave that here or something. But honestly, I think the killer's just trying to cover that up, trying to camouflage it the same way that he camouflaged both the girls. Okay, now remember, you have the trail coming through right here. About 20, 30 feet away. And then you have the other side of the creek over here on this side. And the bridge over here. Notice how all the sticks are on the right side of the body. Right? Rick covered this side of Abby to conceal, to hide her. And then notice this large stick placed on that same side with sticks even placed on top of that. Not only is this large stick on this side of the body, this is also the side of the body that the large tree is on. Remember, the killer was already motivated to drag Libby from out of the open behind the tree. So now that you've tried to conceal her, you're going to do a better job. And now you have Abby, who was told by Rick, sit right here. He told her, I want you to sit right here behind this tree. Don't move. Put those clothes on, right? Remember, no defensive wounds. So if Libby was attacked here, that means she's holding her clothing in her hand. She can't fight back or block. So Rick runs up after crossing the Cold Creek, pissed as hell, and just begins attacking her neck. He's mad. Everything, the whole purpose of him committing this murder, all that rage, there it goes. She is the target of that rage at that very moment. It all just dumps out right there. Takes it out on her. No defensive wounds. She drops her clothes. Remember, all she has left is a shoe with a phone in it and her hoodie. Now that she's been attacked, she drops her clothing. Abby's standing right here. And she falls. Rick turns, pulls the gun out, tells her to be quiet or he's going to shoot her. He racks the gun. Right here comes the spent bullet. Right there comes flying out. That very moment, the bullet falls right here. He tells her, you're going to get dressed, go put on those clothes. She says, I don't have my clothes. Because she's holding a few items. She's holding her shoes. And I think that might be it. Just her shoes. He tells her, well, put on your clothes. She says, I don't have any. He says, okay, put those clothes on. Remember the clothes that are now on the ground here after he murdered Libby? Well, she dropped her clothes right here. We believe you have 1 ounce of compassion left, a little bit of a conscience left, right? Why? Because he said, Abby, go ahead, put the clothes on. She puts the clothes on, sits Indian style right here. But underneath the pile of clothing that she picked up off the ground here was a cell phone inside of a shoe. Now we know somebody was trying to access the phone unsuccessfully. She was able to access. She had privileges on that phone through a thumb, I believe. So she's sitting with her legs crossed, Indian style. He's telling her to be quiet, don't move. There's a bullet standing right here from when he originally threatened her and was able to quiet her down. Abby's in shock. And this is when Rick begins to, after she's dressed and sitting Indian style, she has Libby's shoe in between her legs with the phone in it. And she's looking down while he's moving Libby and covering her with sticks. Abby's trying to call 911, but she's trying to do it secretly. And when he's done doing this over here, she didn't even see it coming. He just snuck up from behind her and killed her. That's why her hands are the way they are. I believe that she had a phone in her hands. The reason the shoe is underneath her was because she was hiding it between her legs. And the reason her legs are crossed is because she was sitting crossed when she was killed. So that explains the sticks. That explains the crime scene. It explains how Rick most likely, even though he had help and people possibly helping to chase the girls and stop them, he's the one that killed them.
Let me tell you something. The prosecutor and the other investigators, they want to see you lock you up, throw away the key. I don't think you're
ridiculous.
Just listen to me for 2 minutes. Let me explain this to you. I'm on your side. I talked to you a little bit out there on the scene. I know you mentioned a couple times you don't want to be the fall guy for this. You also mentioned to me the other day when I was telling you, hey, I want to check the property out, make sure there's no damage, and you said, doesn't matter, it's over. You made comments like that to me that really concerned me.
Sure.
Right. It's concerning. And
What I
now,
mean by it's over is that you've already started something here that there's no backing out of. So you've done, the damage is done, I guess is what I'm saying. That's what I would have been referring to.
okay, and I agree with that. We have started this. We've been working on this for a long time.
Thank you,
All
Jart.
the evidence is clearly indicating you're involved in this. And listen to me, Rick. I don't believe you should be the fall guy. But all the evidence, you say you're out there. We have witnesses out there. We have your vehicle. We have experts. We have experts that say that's you on the video and that's your voice on the video.
Okay.
Experts, not me. I'm not an
I
expert.
got you.
Okay. And now we have your round
Mm-hmm.
at the scene.
Okay. So I want you guys, let me put this on the big screen. So I want you to see the arrogance here. You have to pay close attention here, but you can see it. It's there. Okay, look at the way that Rick responds to Jerry Holman here. Look at the arrogance in his eyes.
We have witnesses out there. We have your vehicle. We have experts. We have experts that say that's you on the video and that's your voice on
Right
the
here.
video.
Okay.
Experts, not me. I'm not an
I
expert.
got you.
Okay. And now we have
Would that be your response if somebody's like, dude, we have experts that say you're the killer? Okay, let's say you're an innocent man, right? Is that going to be your response? Some arrogant, like, little half smile, like, okay, yeah, and what you going to do about it?
your round
Mm-hmm.
at the scene.
Okay.
Not on the bridge. You said you're on the bridge.
I don't even know how my bullet would have gotten out there if that's my bullet.
It's without a doubt that this is very
Okay.
scientific. So let me show you a picture of this round where it was found.
Oh, this is very interesting right here.
That's the round right there.
Oh, look,
It
there's
hadn't
a
been
foot.
out there very long. That is Liberty's foot. It's within 6 inches of one of the dead girls' bodies.
There's no way.
There is.
I'm telling you, there's not.
So people ask, well, why would Rick sit there if he, without asking for an attorney? Like, why would he do all this? See this photograph right here? This is why he's doing it. He wants Jerry Holman to keep showing him things like this.
How did that round get there, Rick?
I don't know how the round got there. What I'm telling you is, if that is truly what you're saying it is, it's not my round.
The scientific experts are saying, I got a report saying that round came from your gun.
Okay, but understand this.
You were on the bridge.
I told you I was on the bridge.
Listen, right now, like I said, I got a prosecutor and investigators ready to lock you up. And if you don't give us a narrative, if you don't tell us your side of the story, there's two sides to every story. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you.
I get that.
The media is going to portray you as this
I know.
monster, and you don't want your wife.
And it's
your
already
daughter
going to
living.
get there anyway, so.
Yeah. So this is your chance to tell us exactly what happened.
Unlike some people, most people, I care what people think about me, and
Then you do.
you've
agree.
already set that ball rolling.
Yeah, but there's only one way to get out in front of it, and that's to tell the truth. What happened that day?
I can't tell you what happened that day.
You can tell us.
How?
There's no doubt in my mind that the evidence clearly indicates that you're involved in this. Are you the mastermind behind this? I don't know.
Mastermind, okay.
Did somebody else set this up? I don't know, Rick.
Okay, you guys know who he's talking about right there, don't you? Don't you know?
Are you the mastermind behind this? I don't know.
Mastermind, okay.
Did somebody else set this up? I don't know, Rick. I want to know. And only you know. The truth will set you free. That's it.
Yeah.
The truth will protect you from the
Well, that's
media.
what I would have thought.
Well, tell the truth. Tell me how this round got next to one of our girls, in between both girls.
I don't know.
You do know. And if you don't tell me, you're going down for this.
Well, okay.
I'm serious.
What-
This isn't a joking matter.
I'm not joking.
You're this
Do you
close.
realize what you've done to me? This is like, you've talked to the people I work with. You've
Yeah,
talked
zero
to my neighbors.
reaction.
You know, I've got anxiety.
I would have been like, yo, I don't want to look at that. He's like, He's like, very interesting.
I got all kinds of stress and depression, and one of the big things is you cannot even think something about me.
Let's go to Surprise says that unspent round was found days later by a few people in town and had to be dug out. That's interesting because they testified during the trial that it was found the very next day and it actually wasn't even that dirty. And they have a good chain of custody on it. So I'm not quite sure where you're getting your information, but it might explain some of the other comments you've been making. It's good that you're here.
But if I think you think something about me, it bothers me. And that's already done because
Yeah.
people out there already know that
It's a good point, Lori.
you think I did something
I don't think,
and I didn't. Okay.
Rick, I don't think that. The evidence clearly indicates you're involved.
Right.
So if you're in my seat and I had you saying you're out there, witnesses saying you're out there at the same time with the girls, and now after a search warrant of your house, we find a gun, your gun. You own that gun, right?
I do.
When did you buy it?
Oh my gosh. I don't even remember. I mean,
2001. I checked for you.
He's like,
I know a lot of
2001,
interesting
bitch.
questions I'm going to ask you, but I'm just trying to give you the opportunity to be honest. That's
Okay.
why I asked the question. So you bought it in 2001 in Peru.
Okay.
And I asked you if you ever loaned anything out. I gave you scenarios. No. So that's your gun. Either you had that gun or somebody had that gun. Because there's no way that round gets on that property where these two girls were killed without that gun being there. And you're there, your car's there, witnesses say
There is no way a round from my gun was anywhere near the girls, the bridge. It just didn't happen.
And listen, we're trying to help you. We're trying to help you prove
No,
Yeah,
you're
absolutely,
trying to accuse me of
Darkside.
murdering two little. Calm me down, yeah.
That's why he's there. I think he failed a polygraph too. They weren't able to talk about it, or he refused a polygraph. He's like right there. It's like, plus you're refusing to take a polygraph, and they had to block that out. It wasn't admissible.
Ask me a few questions. You ask me what I'm wearing, and I
What's
tell
up,
you what I
Brandon?
think I was probably wearing that day, and then you try to say that I'm saying that's me in that picture, and it's not.
You don't have to say that.
I'm done.
Well, I have a warrant for your
I know you
DNA. For your DNA first. What do you think I have a warrant for? You know I have a warrant. What?
I figure you're going to arrest me. You obviously think I've done it.
See, he
The
thought they were
damage
going
is
to
done. Go ahead
arrest
and do
him.
what you're going to do.
Well, I have
This
a-
doesn't just go away.
See, right there, all they were trying to do was get his DNA. But what do they need his DNA for? They don't even have any DNA from the crime scene. What are they going to compare it to? You know, obviously it's for for future use, but it's just interesting. So it's obviously just a tactic.
No.
Exactly.
The only person I think can explain all this is you, and you're not explaining it to me.
I don't know what it is you want me to explain.
What were you doing on the bridge? How did your round get there? And why did you kill these two girls? Or why were you involved in this? What was your
Scheming.
involvement?
I had no.
I don't think, listen, Rick, I don't think you're the one that killed them. I don't think you're the one that stuck the knife in them.
Damn. It's crazy to hear Holman say shit like that because I believe him. I think those are his true thoughts.
I had no.
I don't think, listen, Rick, I don't think you're the one that killed them. I don't think you're the one that stuck the knife in them. Are you?
I
Are
didn't.
you that guy?
Really?
Are you? I'm
No.
asking you.
No.
Anybody that knows me knows I could never, even if I wanted to do something like that. That's
Then
not
what
who I
happened?
am.
Then what happened?
I can't tell you. How do you expect me to tell you? You want me to make up a story and
No, the truth. The truth is simple. You don't have to make that up. You just go back and tell me the truth.
I've
You can't
told
tell me
you.
that this event.
I don't know. I think I would take a polygraph if I had an attorney and the person who was conducting the polygraph was like a third party. I think everything like that should be on neutral ground. Nobody should have control over the results. You know what I mean?
Has not been weighing on you for years and years and years. You were out there.
I told you that. I don't know what you want me to do at this point. I did not murder two little.
I've been so nice.
Oh,
to
let's
you.
see.
I've been so nice to you.
Oh, yeah, you're being nice. You're trying to get me to confess to something I had nothing to
I'm
do
trying to
with.
get you to tell the truth. I'm not trying to trick you. I've drawn.
Let's go back. Have you watched the tape of the raid of his house? No, I didn't know there was one. What is it, like body cam footage? Because I don't think that they have body cams in Indiana. They have dash cam and microphones. So I don't know if they documented it or videotaped it. But no, I haven't seen it. I didn't even know that existed.
Out what we have.
It,
Most of
you
it.
assume it's the truth, and it's not.
It has to be the truth. The scientists don't lie. The science doesn't lie.
That's awesome.
It's saying that that round came from your gun.
I don't understand all that. All I'm telling you is there's a way that a round from my gun.
Let's see. No, your attorney would tell you not to take it. Yes, but the truth is, the only time I recommend taking a lie detector test is, let's say, like a close member of your family, your spouse, brother, sister, girlfriend, boyfriend, mother, father, neighbor, best friend, business partner. If somebody like that just went missing under suspicious circumstances, I would take a polygraph, but I would definitely get an attorney first. I would get an attorney and I would tell them, like, hey, I want to take the polygraph, but I don't want to be taken advantage of. What are our options? How do we maintain, some control over the situation?
The one that you took from my house ended up next to a murder scene or anywhere else. I don't know where you got that bullet.
Yeah,
it
Brandon.
came out of my gun.
Right there. That's the
Then
round.
it didn't come out of my gun.
That round was
Then
collected.
it didn't come out of my gun.
Rick, that round was collected on the 14th
It didn't come out of my gun.
February 2017.
Oh my God.
It's been in evidence ever since.
Okay.
All right, and we've compared other weapons to that.
I understand what you're saying, but I can't explain it. I'm just telling you that if that was next to a murder site or anywhere near it,
What's
it
up,
didn't come
Neil?
out of my gun. And I don't know where you would have got one that did come out of my gun.
Right there. It was there. It was found.
Okay.
Sweet says, I'd never take a
I don't think you
polygraph.
realize the severity of this. You
I
realize
wouldn't
that
blame you.
penalty is on the table for this?
You know what? I don't really care about living at this point. I've dealt with not wanting to live for 7-8 years.
Fishy, they should have dash cam. You know what? That's interesting. I don't think anybody's ever requested that. Requested the dash cam footage for the Rick Allen search warrant. Because a lot of it was outside. So you're going to be able to, I wonder if you could request that. I'm going to try to do that. Try to get my hands on that.
Now, it's been a long fucking battle. And with what you guys have done to me, kill me. I don't give a fuck. You'll make my wife rich. So
Is that what she wants? Is that what your daughter wants?
they don't want any of this to even be happening.
Well, it is.
Exactly.
I can't turn this back.
Exactly.
You
Good
were
to see
there. You're there.
Yeah.
The experts say that's you on the video.
Okay.
The experts are saying you said down the hill to the girls. The experts are saying
Yeah, that's
all
true,
this.
Fishy.
All the evidence indicates you were out there. The witnesses
That is
saw
true.
you. The witness saw you. You said you didn't see anybody else on the bridge, but there was a girl that walked.
My only concern, Fishy, is that let's say they think it's you and you're like denying the polygraph and you're denying all these things. And now they're like, this is really suspicious. Right? This is very suspicious. Like he doesn't want to do a polygraph. He doesn't want to do this. And then he's got an attorney. He's not helping us. I don't want to give that picture or the idea that I'm not helping or, adding to the suspicion. I think it's important that if you're being looked at as a potential suspect to clear yourself, right? They shouldn't be wasting their resources on looking at you. If you're an innocent person, you need to convey that to the best of your ability. Sometimes I think a polygraph is a good way to do that. I've watched a lot of these, the first 48, and a lot of times these people look really guilty, right? It's the husband. Like recently we had the Brown case out of Chicago. Everybody was looking at the husband like the suspect, but as we studied him. He just didn't look guilty. She said, you know what? He's the prime suspect. He needs to get an attorney, but we just weren't getting the vibes that he was a guilty man. And turns out we might have been looking at more of a mental health situation. She may have walked off. So I've seen that many times where these people it looks really bad, from the outside looking in. Take a quick polygraph. They're like, yeah, I mean, he's not being deceptive. So he's obviously not our guy, right? I think it's helpful sometimes.
Up a lady that walked up and saw you on the platform. Right?
Sweets Crime Zoo, how much have you looked into the floor fires? Yeah, I know a lot about that case. Yeah. I know a lot about Flora.
Okay.
You didn't see her, and then right after that, these two girls that end up dead minutes later walk by her, and she looks back and sees them passing you. You're the last person to have contact with Abby and Libby. Your weapon, your gun out of your weapon is...
I've never contacted Abby.
Yeah, Darkside says, you also have to wonder what could be so bad going on in Richard's life. He threatened and put a firearm in his mouth. Also, if we just heard him say, kill me, he's basically thinking like suicide by cop. He's like, just kill me. That's what he just told Jerry. You'll make my wife rich. Why don't you just kill me? Like, who says that?
And Libby
I've never even met him.
that day. Why?
I didn't.
Genius.
That's all I want to know is the truth. You're not willing
I
to...
told you the truth. Do what you need to do.
Okay. Well, let me get I have the warrant here for your DNA, and then let me step out and see.
Gotcha.
I'll come in and swab you with it.
That's fine.
Well, I'm trying to help you, but all right, I think they got the warrant, so hang on 1 second.
True that. True that. Nope, no attorney. 100% if you're innocent. Yep. Good time, Charlie. What's up? Flora was an insurance job for sure. Yeah, I mean, the person I think who did it, Adam Ayers, I think it was his cousin that owns that property. And I think there was reason to believe that Galen and her girls might have been gone. I think originally they might have planned to be out that evening, but they came home and they were home. So if somebody snuck in through the back and expected nobody to be there, and I know there was another family on the other side of the house, but they could have easily escaped, right? If you light a fire in the kitchen. Light a fire in the kitchen, doesn't even have to be that bad to get it condemned. And then you can knock it down and build another home there. Or maybe even just, do an insurance scheme. Yeah, honestly, Fishy, I don't know if I would ever talk to law enforcement without an attorney. You know what I mean? Typically, I don't talk to police anyway. I don't even, if they had me in custody for something like suspicion, I just wouldn't even say hi. Now, if they needed information from me that's going to help me, like it's going to benefit me, like, hey, we were called, there's a call that you're out here attacking people. If I don't say, no, that's not me, they can arrest me, right? There's no evidence supporting that I'm not the guy. So if they show up to the crime, if they show up, from a 911 call and say, hey, you've been accused of a violent assault, that would be a good time to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no clue what you're talking about, officer. Look, here's my hands, no bruises, nothing. Might even have a witness or two with you. So sometimes silence can be harmful to you. At least when it comes to your time, they're going to end up arresting you, booking you, and then releasing you and not charging you. you know, a serious headache later. Yes, and we'll never see Flora be solved because of who was involved in it. Who was involved in it? Surprised? Flora was in insurance also. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Good thing Galen won her lawsuit because I think he knew he had a problem with this dark stuff and fought it his whole life. I think after 50 years, he's tired. He knows it's all wrong and just wants to end it all. Yeah, I agree with that. Some people are just damaged goods. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is sometimes for people. Happy heavenly 15th birthday, Kiani Precious Welch, 1/10/2011. Happy belated. No, especially if you're innocent, don't talk to the cops. Please, everyone, learn this. I mean, report crimes, talk to them when it. Oh, yeah, I'm a snitch now. I am a snitch. If I see you doing something around, where I live, I'm snitching.
All right, Rick, this is a warrant right now we have to collect your DNA. Tuxedo's gonna do it.
Okay.
I have to read it to you. It's to law enforcement, reference DNA standard, vehicle swab. You're hereby authorized and ordered in the name of the state of Indiana to take a DNA standard of Richard M. Allen. My vehicle swab, so basically I'll just swab it inside of your teeth.
Okay.
Compare that to any DNA that we have. Okay. You are further ordered to any means necessary to seize Richard Allen and to take a vehicle swab. You're being cooperative, so we don't have to worry about that. But if you aren't, we could get it any means necessary. To compare the evidence of the crime. You are furthermore ordered to seize such property or any part thereof found on such search, and that you bring the same or any part therefore forthwith before me to be disposed of according to law. So basically, we take it, we can't dispose of until the judge says so.
Okay.
So we'll keep this. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything in your mouth?
No.
No. Turn the light away from me. Just turn your body.
Just turn my body.
Yeah. All right, open your mouth. Other side.
Sweets. Yep, I'm snitching.
Well, ball's in your court, Rick.
You just took my DNA.
So what you were telling me out there, it's over, huh?
The damage is done. I don't know.
I'm sorry that you think this is funny and you keep laughing. Maybe it's just a nervous laugh. I don't know, but I'm trying to help you. Yes. Why is all this evidence clearly indicating that you're involved?
I'm gonna
I
snitch on
can't tell you that. And what you're talking to me about is a bullet that was found by the murder scene next to.
It's more
Yeah, you
than
better.
just that. You have to listen to me for just 2 minutes straight. Just forget about everything else. Okay? The girls have a video of you. Experts
Most crime
are
scenes
saying
don't
without a
have the
doubt
killer's
that is
DNA.
you on the bridge, that is your voice. How they do it, I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. We have 5 witnesses that see you out there on the bridge with the girls,
Don't see that.
right? Why don't you see that? I'm not lying to you.
Because it didn't happen.
When Rick asked the guy, "Turn my body,"
I need to keep.
this guy.
And that you bring the same or any part, therefore.
So I want you to notice something. When this guy walks in, watch, he covers the photogaph of Libby. He doesn't want to see it. Rick was unbothered by it. Watch this.
My buccal swab, so basically I'll just swab the inside of your teeth. Okay. Compare that to any DNA that we have.
He notices what it is on the table and he covers it up.
You are further ordered
Watch,
to means
right
necessary
here.
to seize Richard Allen and to take a buccal swab. You're being cooperative.
He might even flip it upside down.
If you aren't, we could get it any means necessary to compare the evidence of the crime.
Yeah, there you go. See, he's like, I don't want to look at that
You're
shit.
furthermore ordered to seize such copy or any part thereof found on such search, and that you bring the same or any part therefore with before
Incredulous?
me to be disposed of according to the law. So basically, we take it. We can't dispose of until the judge says so. So we'll keep this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything in your mouth?
No.
No. Go ahead and turn that way for me. Just turn your body.
Just turn my body.
Yeah. All right, open your mouth. Go ahead and turn that way for me. Just turn your body.
Just turn my body.
Yeah. All right, open your mouth. Go ahead and turn that way for me. All right, open your mouth. Go ahead and turn that way for me. Go ahead and turn that way for me. Just turn your body.
Just turn my body.
Yeah. All right, open your mouth.
Listen, I have a full hand of cards here. I'm not laying all my cards on the table.
Okay.
I'm telling you bits and pieces, hoping that you will realize that without a doubt, we have you out there at the time of the merger. It clearly indicates that you're involved in this. Clearly.
It does not. There is nothing that you could have that's going to indicate me because I wasn't out there.
And that's why he's in prison right now. He's in prison because of that bullet evidence they have. No matter what he says, that ties him to the crime scene. And the fact that he's out there around the time the girls were killed and that bullet is at the crime scene, that is why he's in prison. And that's why Jerry's able to treat him the way that he is right now. Because he knows that he's connected somehow.
You're around like 6.
But Jerry already suspects the Kleins. He's been trying to nail this on the Kleins for a long time. And he knows Rick and the Kleins are in on this together. And he's hoping that Rick is going to be the glue that ties it all in.
I know that a round from my gun did not end up at a murder scene.
You're wrong.
Okay.
And the proof is right here.
I agree, Neil.
It. I mean,
well, you're going to.
I'm not.
You said you didn't want to be the fall guy. You're being the fall guy because you won't give us your side of the story. The truth.
I don't care.
You should care.
You're not going to prove I did something I did.
Okay, so right here, if Rick said, well, the Kleins did it. How is that going to help Rick? If he's just as guilty, there's no reason for him to confess to anything. It's just kind of like, it sucks that they caught me. I wish I could say more, but it's not going to help if I tell them a story where I'm just as wicked as the people that I'm giving them. I'm not going to be able to make a deal that way. I can't make a deal when I'm equally to blame for these murders. And a lot of times that's what happens, right? When you commit a murder with others. That's what we've learned. They say, well, everybody has to participate. Remember the Manson murders, right? The LaBianca Tate murders. Everybody had to participate before they left. Even when the victims were no longer breathing, they just had to go over there and like do something bad, stab them, bash them, do something horrible to them so that you are now involved. That could be what happened. They killed Libby and said, well, now, Rick, you have to do something. You have to kill Abby, right? If you don't kill Abby, then I have to kill you both, right? Now, once Rick commits the murder, remember, he did say, I'm sorry for what I did to Abby. So if he's responsible for that, they're now equally involved, which is the whole point. It's like a failsafe for anybody else involved. There is now no motivation for Rick. It's all threat from that point, right? If he says, well, now I'm going to snitch on these guys, he knows they're child killers. He knows that they're on the dark web. He knows that they're into all this sick shit that Jerry Holman probably couldn't even imagine. They don't know any of it, but he knows all of it. There's no reason for him to say, hey, these guys helped, or I did it with these guys, if he's equally to blame. There's no motivation.
Didn't do.
You're exactly right. We're not. We're going to prove what you did. Your involvement in this.
Involvement. What was my involvement?
What's up, Scorpio?
You were there.
And I told you I had nothing to do with it. I told you I never even seen it.
I wasn't there. I'm not on video. Exactly right. We're not.
Okay. Notice how Jerry Holman keeps bringing up, tell me your level of involvement. He keeps alluding, to these other people, these other perpetrators. He knows that Rick and the Kleins are in on this, and he wants to know, how did you guys hide? What actually happened that day? And he knows Rick has those answers. But there's no reason for him to say, because if he says, yeah, well, we did this, we documented it, and we were promised a shit ton of money, and I killed one of the girls, and the Kleins killed Libby. They're not going to make a deal with him for that. That's not going to benefit him at all. If anything, it's just going to put his family at risk.
We're going to prove what you did. Your involvement in this.
What's up, Colette?
Involvement. What was my involvement?
You tell me. You were there.
And I told you I had nothing to do with it. I told you I never even seen it.
I wasn't there. I'm not on video. 4 witnesses didn't see me. 4 or 5 witnesses didn't see me out there, and I can.
Me either.
And my round wasn't out of my gun. Wasn't 6 inches away from a dead girl's foot.
Mine either.
I'm telling you, you're living in this world.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I'm showing you some of the evidence that we have. And I'm giving you the opportunity to give your narrative, because if you don't.
Noah, if the Kleins and Rick were all involved, who do you think actually stabbed the girls? Well, I kind of just explained that. I think they both did. That could also explain why it looks like 2 different people did it, right? You have multiple people using the Anthony Shots account. You have a crime scene that looks like almost 2 different people committed the murders. So, and it's just interesting that Rick said, I'm sorry for what I did to Abby. He doesn't mention anything about Libby. So either he killed Libby in a fit of rage, may have even blacked out, and then kind of came to a little bit, and then strategically killed Abby. So that's the only one that was on his conscience, because he may not take responsibility for Libby. He may blame that on whoever put him in that mind state.
They're going to make it up. And the media, not even media is mild compared to social media, is going to portray you as this monster. Are you a monster?
They're already going to do that. You've already talked.
When you get arrested for this?
It doesn't even matter, because I actually care about what people think.
Yeah, you do.
I said I do. I actually care about what people think. That's why.
So do I. That's
you've
why
already done the damage.
Lori?
How am I supposed to? Never mind.
No, please talk to me.
I just
clear this up in my head.
I just don't know how I'm supposed to act like this never happened.
You can't. You can't act
I'm not
like
saying the murder. I'm saying
that's exactly what you're saying. Your conscience is trying to tell you this is the day. This is the time. This is the time to get out in front of this, Rick.
BMM?
You made a mistake. You got in the middle of this. You got in the middle of this. You cannot explain all the evidence away. And you're saying, oh, that's not me. I'm just telling you what we have, some of what we have.
Okay.
And we're still working on other things.
Yeah, that's true, Noah. That's true.
But
I'm not going to tell you I did something I didn't do.
I don't want you to say.
End of story.
And I appreciate that. What did you do? What is your involvement? Who else? I have a lot of different questions. But
I don't think that's true, Sweets.
It's a waste of your time and mine. And you're going down for something that you have maybe some involvement in. Maybe
there he goes again.
Where's this guy that's saying that I helped him?
You hear that?
You tell me. I'm not saying that questions, but if you're not willing to tell.
I don't ever remember Jerry saying that some guy told him that he helped him. That's I've never noticed that before. Listen to this strange response by Rick here.
The truth, it's a waste of your time and mine. And you're going down for something that you have maybe some involvement in. Maybe this is all you.
Where's this guy that's saying that I helped him?
Keegan Kline. Remember, it was Keegan Kline a month ago who confessed.
You tell me. I'm not saying that. Did I say today that
You're saying that I was involved?
See, did you hear that? Jerry's like, what are you talking about? When did I ever say that shit? I never said that. And then Rick's like, oh, wait a minute. I just fucked up.
Questions, but if you're not willing to tell the truth,
listen to this.
It's a waste of your time and mine. And you're going down for something that you have maybe some involvement in. Maybe this is all you.
Where's this guy that's saying that I helped him?
You tell me. I'm not saying that. Did I say today that
You're saying that I was involved. Well, if I didn't do it, but I'm involved, what are you saying? If you got somebody saying I helped them do it, they're fucking crazy.
Okay. I never said that.
I never said that, Rick.
I just said you're involved. What is your involvement?
You
is
brought
that
that
a theory that some people may have that
I don't know.
I just want you to tell me all the truth. I just want you to
I'm
be
done.
completely honest with me.
If you're gonna arrest me, arrest me. I'm not talking anymore. This is ridiculous.
I just thought maybe you would appreciate my effort to help you. I mean,
right, my effort to help you.
Because after today, I can't help you.
I understand that.
You do understand that.
I don't need your help.
See, now, if you committed a murder with somebody else, let's say you had a partner or it's you and two other men, and each of you commits your own murder during the crime, there really would be no benefit to confessing, would there? So that's why they do that. A lot of the cases that we cover, that's what happens. And I think the La Bianca Tate murders are a good example of that. It was a group killing, and the rest of the group that didn't really participate in the main attack were forced to participate by, I believe, plunging a knife into victims that were already deceased. So that way, what are they going to do? They're going to go tell law enforcement, like, hey, this guy killed the girls. Okay, well, what did you do? Oh, well, I stabbed him. That's not going to go over too well. And I think that's what's happening here in this interview room. Rick is just like trying to figure out everything that they have on him. He has no cards to play. He can't confess because he was forced to participate equally by killing, I believe, Abby, right? Somebody killed Libby. He's forced to kill Abby. Explains why he apologized, for killing Abby while he was locked up. It was very confusing, but that explains that part of it at least.
You need help. You don't think any of this is important?
I think that nothing that you have is going to show me anywhere near the murder of two little girls. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, we do have that.
You don't. It's not possible.
It is possible.
Whatever. And then it goes black right there.
Well, I apologize.
I'm already been dealing with bullshit, having to worry about what you've said to my neighbors, what you've said to the people I work with.
That must have been about the polygraphs again, because he's kind of hinting at his anxiety here.
That's more than I want to deal with. I'm not going to sit here and do this.
Okay.
Tina Miller says, do you think the Kleins planted the bullet? No, I do not. I think that was Rick's gun. I think there is a possibility that before Rick was forced to kill Abby, I think there could have been an altercation. There might have been a fight. That could explain the unspent bullet, right? Taking Rick's gun from him. Like, you ain't going to do shit with that. Give me that gun. Take the gun from him after a struggle. Remove the magazine, throw it to him. Or not. And then empty the one out of the chamber. And then give him back his gun. And be like, Rick, you're going to do it, or I'm going to kill you too.
right, sit tight.
Right. That could even explain why he would be muddy and bloody. Because if he's rolling around with somebody and fighting with them, remember the person Sarah Carbaugh said looked like he had just gotten into a fight. He was muddy and bloody. So if he gets into a fight with somebody, they take his gun away, and it's them that leaves the bullet on the ground. That, I mean, I think that's a good explanation for that.
Jesus Christ. Story.
I know I wasn't in there. Could you just give me?
Okay. No.
You don't want to talk about that.
Not
Okay,
gonna
what
talk about any of it.
Okay, what I failed to tell you too is the witnesses saw a gun in your pocket.
No, they didn't.
You're saying you didn't have a gun
I'm saying I did not have a gun.
when you were out there, and you told me earlier no one borrowed that gun.
I probably never would have let somebody borrow my gun.
Probably wouldn't have, but I'm asking you, did you?
No.
Okay.
No.
And again, I tried to clarify this earlier. You and I both know I'm not a scientist, and you're not a scientist. But what the scientists are telling me is this extraction mark is like a fingerprint. It's unique to the gun. I told you that earlier. You understand that. It's not unique to that type of gun. It's unique to that specific gun. Just like your fingerprint. If I have a fingerprint, my fingerprint, your fingerprint, and I got a fingerprint at the scene, we match that fingerprint. It's significant to one person. Both fingerprints are alike.
And what I'm telling you is there is no way that a bullet from my gun ended up at a murder scene.
And we've been working on this for over 5.5 years. We get a search warrant for your house, find your gun, because we were told when we found that round that it had 3 extraction marks on it. And without a doubt, they would be able to match that extraction mark to the gun. Not type of gun, the gun.
So.
We've taken multiple guns down there, and they have not matched to those extraction marks.
Mm-hmm.
Your gun does 100% without a doubt. It's in this certificate of analysis. The scientists say that the marks on that gun are match your gun.
And I'm telling you, it didn't happen. I didn't shoot anybody. I've never even pointed a gun at
I'm
anybody.
not saying you shot anybody. I'm saying a fully intact round from your gun is on.
And I'm telling you, that's not possible.
It is.
It's not.
How's it not?
Because I wasn't there.
You were there. You said you were there. There's some.
You were
I was
there.
on the trail. I didn't tell you I was at a murder site.
This round is telling me you were there. You didn't.
I don't care
you
what
didn't
it's
lend,
telling
you.
you,
Didn't
honestly.
lend your gun to anybody. I asked you that. Did you?
I'm done answering questions. Just arrest me. I'm done.
I'm trying to help you, Rick.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you something that's not true so you can feel better about this.
I already feel good about this.
Okay.
I feel good about what the experts are telling me.
Okay.
I feel good about the scientific evidence.
Scientific.
I feel good about the witness statements. I feel good about everything. What I don't feel good about is you being a fall guy for anybody or everybody or anybody involved in this, if that's possible. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you did do this all by yourself. That's exactly, I know you keep snickering at that, but that's exactly what's going to be portrayed of you. You're this evil monster that was just hunting for 2 teenage girls.
Now give me the
so you could
Kleins.
just go down there and terrorize them and kill them, and that's not true. Is it?
I told you.
You and I both know that that's not true. You and I both know what happened. The evidence clearly is indicating. Now there's some missing pieces, and I'm going to find those missing pieces.
Okay.
And it would be easier if you helped me find those missing pieces.
The Kleins.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you I did something I didn't do.
I don't want you to. I told you that.
That's exactly what you want me to do. What else would you want me to do but tell you I did it? And I'm not going to, because I didn't. I've never been around those 2 girls in my life.
You were on the trail that day.
I was on the trail that day, and I told you
And
that.
they walked right by you, according to witnesses.
No, they didn't. I never even seen them. Like, I think I'm going to see somebody if they walk past me. Am I not? I'm not saying somebody didn't see me that I didn't see. All I'm telling you is I never seen those two girls.
And why didn't you report this day one?
Report what?
That
Say
you were out
what?
there and you saw these two girls. You were in the area.
The very day that they came out and said that they wanted anybody who might have been out there to come in, that's what I did. I went down to the police station. I said, hey, I was out at the trail that
Did
day.
you want to?
Well, I obviously did, or I wouldn't have.
Did your wife encourage you to? Because she's talking
No.
to us. She's talking to us right now. And
I'm sure she is. And she's going to tell you there's no way in hell that I'd ever do this. So we're all good.
It's not what was going on, Rick.
Then I don't know what is.
I just wish you'd be honest. That's all I do.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
I have been honest with you, and you obviously don't believe me.
I don't, because if this evidence wasn't there,
No.
she's talking to us right now. And
I'm sure she is.
Look, he
And
gets
she's
pissed
going to tell
off.
you there's no way
He gets really pissed off right here.
in hell that I'd ever do this.
Watch his eyes.
So we're all good.
It's not what was going on, Rick.
He's got those Koberger eyes about to pop out of his head.
Then I don't know what it
He's like, she better not be saying anything.
is.
I just wish you'd be honest. That's all I do.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
I have been honest with you, and you obviously don't believe me.
I don't, because if this evidence wasn't there, I would.
Okay.
You don't believe this evidence is?
I don't.
We're not here.
There's no way possible.
We didn't.
There is no way possible.
See, the difference is, Fishy, is you wouldn't be sitting there. You know what I mean? Only a guilty man would sit there and put up with that bullshit. Right? Because the guilty man is the one that has to sit there to find out more information. It's killing him to know what they know, right? We know that you want to know what we know. And he does. Remember, he's going to tell Kathy, hey, just tell him you want an attorney and then you can leave. They'll let you leave. If he knows that, why isn't he asking for an attorney? Then they'll let him leave. Because he's just like every other guilty person. He thinks he's outsmarting the cops. He thinks what he's saying is actually being effective and benefiting his cause. But it's not. He's just so curious. He wants to see what they have. What else do you have? And Holman knows that. He keeps telling him, like, I haven't showed you all my cards. Like, and that's why Rick accidentally let that slip out. He's like, who's this guy who told you I helped him? Holman's like, what are you talking about? Like, I never told you that. Because he already knows that Kagan Klein confessed. He already knows that there's somebody talking behind the scenes. And he was expecting this. That's why he's not going to tell Holman. He knows that's what Holman's asking him. Like, tell me what happened. Tell me what really happened. And there's just no way Rick can do that, I think, without just it turning into a confession and possibly leading to Mr. Big, right? The whole Las Vegas connection, which could put his wife and daughter at risk.
Possible that a round from my gun ended up at a murder scene. It's not possible. So something's obviously wrong.
Something is.
Well, according to Kathy, she just ignores Rick. It's like she doesn't even, like he doesn't exist. Remember, they asked him, like, do you ever see him on social media? She's like, no, I don't even pay attention to him.
Exactly.
Both know what's wrong.
I didn't do it. And I'm not going to sit here all day trying to convince you that I didn't do it. You obviously think that I did.
I'm not going to sit here all day and convince you that I think that you did do it, Rick.
And then he looks at his foot. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Right in the middle of an interrogation, Rick decides to check out his foot. I wonder why. I wonder if he was thinking about Libby's foot.
So something's obviously wrong.
Something is wrong.
Exactly.
You and I both know what's wrong.
Rick's like, I can do this all day. Watch.
I didn't do it.
Let me check out my own foot here. He's like, wow.
And I'm not going to sit here
It's almost like he's like, wow, that really was her foot. And then he like sticks his own foot out.
all day trying to convince you that I didn't do it. You obviously think that I did.
I'm not going to sit here all day and convince you that I think that you did do it.
What is that?
Trying to convince you that I didn't do it. You obviously think that I did.
I'm not going to sit here all day and convince you that I think that.
Same foot and everything. So about, I don't know, was it 20 minutes ago? There was a image of a foot on the table. And here he is staring at that same foot. I wonder if he's getting a kick out of it.
That you did do it, Rick. I'm just laying down some of the evidence that we have.
Okay.
And we're going to get more.
I don't think
and
so.
We're only giving you the opportunity to get out in front of this. This is your opportunity.
Welcome
like
in, Hunted
earlier,
Breed.
The truth is easy.
I've got nothing to get out in front of. I'm not going to tell you I did something I didn't do.
Okay.
Okay.
And I don't want you to tell me something that you didn't do.
Then stop asking me to.
I'm not. I'm just asking you to tell the truth about this day. I asked you to go back and rehash it and you wouldn't. Why?
I told you because I'm not going to, you guys are like trying to trick me into doing something.
I'm not trying to trick you.
I told you what
Kelly?
happened. You've already got it. There's no need for me to tell you again.
Story.
Whatever. There aren't any. I don't know how I can make this any clearer. I'm not going to tell you that I had something to do with this.
Okay. And I don't know how I can make this any clearer. We have evidence indicating that you're clearly involved in this. And that's sad that you won't help.
Okay.
Because if that was your daughter out there, you would want some people to help.
You're damn right I would.
You're right. But you don't, so.
He's going to look up at the camera. Yep, I agree, Hunted. Wonder why he's looking at his hand like that. I wonder if he has like some scars. I wonder if he has cuts or something right there. He's like pushing on his thumb or like his bone or something, like a tendon. Wonder why he was doing that. Yeah, it looks like he does have like a scar or a bruise right there. Some scarring. What's up, Vix? Welcome back. Yeah, right-handed. Yes. Are you talking about the 13th? February 13th, 2017? Yes. They were working another case. I believe it was in Kokomo. Do you see that? It's like whenever he starts thinking in his head and he's getting ready to start talking to himself, he realizes, okay, I'm being recorded. And then he looks up at the camera. Watch. So you can see him kind of getting all worked up. And as he starts to get worked up, he looks up at the camera and then calms down again. Oh, his knee, popping his knee. See that?
I think I know my wife.
Well, I'm just telling you.
My
You
wife
want me to bring
always
her
say
in?
some stupid shit
You
like
want me
that.
to bring her in and tell you?
I
She's
don't
telling
care
the
what
truth
you
about
did.
what happened. You didn't tell her, but you've lied to her for years, is how she feels right now. Because, and your depression has gotten considerably worse since this incident, which is.
This has been going on for 7-8 years now.
But it's gotten worse since.
Well, it's gotten really bad.
I could see why. If I killed two girls, I would get.
Oh my God.
I would have depression too.
Well,
I would have mental issues too.
I'm sure you would.
Living with this.
I'm sure you would.
And that's why you are. Here's what I think, Rick. I don't know. Only you know, but here's my theory. You're out there. Maybe somebody set this up. Maybe they didn't. Maybe you're out there. Maybe we know you're out there. That's not a theory. That's a fact. We know you had a gun. Girls saw the gun in there. We know you have anger issues. Your wife told us before that you have some anger issues.
It's said, she had the gun out there. Instead of, I told you I didn't have the gun. He goes, I don't think so.
Rick? I don't know. Only you know, but here's my theory. You're out there. Maybe somebody set this up. Maybe they didn't. Maybe you're out there. Maybe we know you're out there. That's not a theory. That's a fact. We know you had a gun. Girls saw the gun in there. We know you have anger issues. Your wife told us before that you have some anger issues and you have depression and you have, those types of issues. And maybe these girls said something to you. I don't know. Maybe you said go down the hill, which we know. The experts say you said go down the hill. You get down there and they,
yeah,
they
could
piss
be,
you
Lord.
off for whatever reason. You racked the gun. You didn't realize you racked that gun to scare them, and that round popped out. You didn't realize it because maybe do you carry that gun with a round chambered, or do you not have it chambered?
When I carry it, I would have a round chamber.
So you
but I
rack
didn't
it to
carry it
scare
very often.
Well, you were carrying it that day because girls said. So if you have one chambered, and what I'm saying is if I have a round chamber, which I do, and I rack this gun right now around, a fully intact round will pop out. Correct?
I assume.
Well, that's what's happened. You didn't realize it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's why that round's there on the ground, Rick. And this is your opportunity And you say that you don't want to this and
Can you
that.
please stop giving me opportunities? I'm not going to sit here and tell you I did something I didn't do.
No more
I'm not going
opportunities.
to tell you I'm involved with something.
Tell me what you did do then that day. Help me.
I didn't
Help me
murder
set
two
you
little
free.
girls.
What did you do?
I went for a walk on the trail and I went home. And I told you the details of the best I can remember of what I did that day and what the walk was. I'm not going to.
He should have just said, yeah, I did have my gun.
This is ridiculous. I'm not going to just keep repeating myself.
Okay.
So
The killer could have found one of his rounds, you know.
But I'm not going to keep bringing up more evidence either. I mean, I can only give you so much.
Matter of fact, I left a bullet right on that
Rob
bench.
Logan. Do you know Rob Logan?
mm-hmm.
You ever been on his property?
Mm-hmm.
You don't,
Not that I know of.
You don't hunt. You said you fish?
We mushroom hunt. Yeah, I fish.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out why that round from your gun would be out there. I'm giving you the opportunity.
No,
I know you don't want me to give you opportunities, but I'm giving you the opportunity. But you never mushroom hunt on that side of that ditch? On 2000, or you weren't mushrooming, it was too early for mushrooms.
a little bit. It was just a seasonably warm day.
That's a really close-ended question there. Did you notice that? He's almost inviting Rick into a trap. Like, see how easy it is for you to explain why your bullet's there? All you have to do is just explain it, right? Just tell me that you go hiking back there, right? That'd be a good explanation. But if he was to say, yeah, you know what, you might be right. You know, I did go back there. You know, I go back there all the time. I could have lost my bullet, you know, any one of those times I was back there. But the only problem is that puts him at the crime scene, right? So not only are you there that day, not only do we have your matching bullet, now you've just admitted to being familiar with this actual location where the girls were found, which is extremely remote. So that would still make him look guilty.
So I went for a walk.
Okay.
Could be dark side.
And nobody had your gun that you know of.
What's up,
I'm
TJ?
not answering that. I've answered it 15 times.
I mean, obviously, you would tell me if somebody did, because then that would put them there and not you. Because right now, you are.
And that's why we're here,
talking about
TJ.
witnesses, and
I think we all
you and I
do.
both know that.
See, here, let's go to TJ. I'm not sure if Rick had help, but I always thought there was multiple people involved because before I heard of Rick Allen. And the thing is, you're not alone, TJ. Even Jerry Holman and the entire investigative team believe that Rick is connected to the Kleins. They just can't prove it. But that's what they believe.
Realistically, the evidence doesn't lie. So
It obviously does.
If you
that's
did
what it's
know,
saying.
I think I know you well enough. Maybe I don't. That if you did know somebody borrowed your gun or had your gun, you would tell us.
Of course.
All right, guys, that is all the time that I have today. Big shout out to everybody who was able to catch the live stream and participated in the chat. Hunted Breed, Darkside, TJ, Surprise, Lori. Who else we got? Kelly, Fishy, always good to see you. Wife Lilith, what up? I think I got you, Darkside. Who am I missing? Tina Miller. Sweets Crime Zoo. Shania. Colette Henson, and the rest of you guys. Robin, Neil. It was good to see everybody. Hit the like button on the way out. And all of you who purchased merch, that was all shipped out today, UPS, so you should have it in a few days. So we'll have those 5 items out. And if anybody's interested in picking up any merch, just email me, and I'll tell you how you can get your hands on some. Other than that, shoot me an email if you need to. Replay crew, you know what to do. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. Be there or be square. Peace.